Suffering begins where identification begins. And I want you to listen to me very keenly in this video. Suffering begins where identification begins. That is when you mistake the tools of experience, your mind, your heart, and your body for the experiencer itself. That is your consciousness. You know, to create distance between consciousness and these instruments is to reclaim your freedom from illusion. The mind was made to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act. But you are none of them. You are none of them. You are the awareness behind them. You know. And once this realization stabilizes, then the grip of fear, attachment, and societal conditioning all dissolve. You stop participating unconsciously in man-made systems because your sense of self no longer depends on them. You know, when consciousness is entangled with the mind, then thoughts appear as truth. When it is merged with the heart, emotions become identity. And when it is attached to the body, sensations dictate reality. Now, this fusion is what creates suffering because you react instead of witness. By creating distance, you become the observer, not the participant. You know, thoughts still arise, emotions still move, and the body still functions. But you no longer believe you are any of them. You see them as movements within awareness, not the source of who you are. You know, this detachment does not make you indifferent. It makes you unbound. You still engage with life. You still love. You still work. You're still in relationships, but without being ruled by them. You know, systems built on fear, competition, or validation, all of them lose control over you because they no longer define your value or dictate your peace. You know, psychologically, this state represents transcendence beyond ego identity. The ego thrives on attachment to thoughts, roles, beliefs, and systems. When you create space between observer and experience, you interrupt the ego's narrative of me and mine. The prefrontal cortex becomes more active, emotional reactivity decreases, and perception sharpens. You know, you begin to respond from clarity rather than conditioning. And this separation fosters inner peace and self-regulation, allowing you to interact with systems consciously, not compulsively. You know, spiritually, this distance is enlightenment, the return to pure awareness. It is realization that consciousness is eternal while mind, heart, and body are temporal instruments of experience. When you rest in consciousness, you see through the illusion of systems, religion, politics, economy, all constructs that exist only because of collective identification. The awakened self participates in life but belongs to none of its cages. Always remember that. In short, when you separate consciousness from its instruments, you end the tyranny of illusion. You stop suffering because nothing external defines your state. The mind may move, the heart may feel, the body may act, but you, the witness, you remain still. And in that stillness lies absolute freedom. My people, heal. Heal.